Start there. Check, check. All right. What's up, dude?
What's up, bro?
How you doing?
Doing all right.
All right, let's get you to first introduce yourself.
Should I look at more at the camera or look at
Either or, whatever you're feeling. I feel like some people they will look at the camera when they're talking about someone, and then kind of look at me.
you?
But
Take the
people will be
question.
looking off in the corner and kind of
Okay.
doing their own things and stuff.
So I introduce myself.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Otto, aka Hood Rat Shit. Yeah.
Perfect. Why did you choose the artist name you did?
Hood Rat Shit. It was already a clothing line I had going for years, and when I got back into glass blowing, it just kind of fit with my style. So I just kept. That's what I used as my glass blowing name.
Yeah, okay, and people probably already kind of knew of you or
Yeah,
about
well,
you through
yeah.
that name, right?
People knew what hood rat shit was. I knew it was like a extreme sports artist. I don't know. Like I would fuck with graffiti artists and musicians and extreme sports athletes, and that's who really rocked my shit. So those are the people that knew me. And when I got back into glass blowing, people were like, "Oh man, you picked that up really fast." I was like, "Fuck you,
Okay,
idiots."
perfect. What's the first thing you made in glass?
The first thing I made when I first started was rapid rake spoons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the first thing I
Do you still have one of the first ones you made?
did. I actually have the first sculpture I ever did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
It was when Finding Nemo came out, and it was a McDonald's toy at McDonald's, and I was looking at it. I was like, I could make this out of glass, and I didn't know anything about sculpting or anything back then, but they had like orange crayon from Glass Alchemy and black and some white. I don't even remember what color white it was, but because back then it was like 2000 when I did this shit. When
Wow.
Nemo came out, so like
Yeah.
2001 maybe, somewhere around there. But
Whatever you could get, kind
yeah,
of thing.
I made a fucking fish. I like wrapped. I did stringers. I'll go grab it and show it to
Yeah,
you. But
okay.
I did like I did wrap stringers on it for the color, and then did some other shit.
That's great, dude. It's cool. I've been asking a lot of people if they still have it. And it's about 50-50. It's cool to hear when people
Yeah, I have my
have
first sculpted. Yeah, I have my first sculpted piece, and I have my first. When I took a class with Mike Plain at the Eugene Glass School, and I have the piece that I made at that class. So I was tripping out last night actually when I was telling my girl about this interview. I told her I was like, "Look at that fucking piece! I made that like fucking 22 years ago or some shit."
That's crazy. So that rolls into the next question of how'd you get started in glass?
I worked at when I got started. When I got into glass blowing, like weed, like was barely becoming legal in California. Like California just broke the barrier and made weed fucking recreational and shit. But I worked at a head shop in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I was the manager there. And this dude used to come in, and this hippie dude that wore like Teva sandals, getting fucking big old fat red dreadlocks, redhead dude. He'd come in and fucking come in with gun cases and go into the back room with the owner and come back out, and the owner would be like, "Give him this much money." And I was like, "Damn, boy." I was like, "I want to do that, man. I want to blow glass." He's like, "It's not for you, brother. It's not for you." Because back then, it was like '98, you know, so like it's very secretive. People people weren't just giving knowledge out. There was no social media or none of that shit. So
Yeah.
the fucking hippie guys that blew glass up in the mountains weren't showing the fucking punk kids that worked the counter at the fucking pipe shop.
Yeah.
So something must have happened, and he must have came hard up on some money or something, because he disappeared for a little bit, and then he came in a time and had his cases with him. And after he came out of the back room, he's like, "You still want to learn how to blow glass?" I was like, "I do." And I was getting ready to have my daughter, my first daughter, and he wanted $1,700. I was like, that was a lot of money back then. I was like, fuck, I don't got $1,700, but I had a GSXR bullet bike 750 that I own. I was like, bullet bike gonna kill me, career to take care of my kid and get away from this counter job. So I sold the bike to the local Suzuki dealership and got fucking bent over. Went and spent that money with him and bought a miner. I got a Glasscraft catalog and bought a major miner or whatever, the little tiny torch.
Yeah.
I bought a sample kit of North Star color and a fucking little 5-pack of fucking 25 mil tubing and some silver and some gold and started going.
Wow. And so is he kind of? So you bought all the stuff, and did you kind of like set up in his shop?
Yeah. So he had down the street from my house. Actually, it worked out because when I found out where he lived not very far from me, like maybe fucking a mile and a half away. So I was way pumped to learn how to blow glass. So every morning when the sun was coming up, I was at his house, and he had a little shed in his backyard. He taught me how to pull points. This is back when like a point one was going on. He taught me how to pull points, how to do a wrap and rake, and how to fume silver and gold onto the glass. And then I started picking it up. I started making pipes and stuff, and he fucking ditched me. He taught me for like 3 weeks, and then fucking gypsied me. He like gypsy moved. I was there every morning at 7 in the morning, like stoked to blow glass. I left, I looked at his back. We were in the backyard. He had this big back window, and I waved bye to his wife and saw his kid eating dinner in the little high chair and waved and left. Came back the next morning. The house is empty. When I walked into the backyard, I was like, "Well, that's crazy. That's what the fuck." And then I looked at the shop, and all my shit was in the shop. Like my bench was still set up. Everything else is gone, dude. Like
Wow.
he like gypsy moved. Everything was in the house when I left. Like,
Yeah.
his station and everything was
Crazy,
there.
man. Wow. But
So,
at least got enough to where you could get going, right?
yeah, he like I said, I was way determined. There was no YouTube or nothing back then,
Yeah.
so I set up a little station on my patio at my apartment, and I lived on the bottom floor. So I got that lattice shit, that wood lattice that you can buy,
Yeah.
and I screwed it up to my patio so people couldn't jump down onto my patio. And I put a little bench with a fucking fan like that right in front of me. So I just fucking like looping around. I was just breathing it. I put my little torch right there, and I had a little K tank and a propane tank, and
Good
I
to
put
go,
glass
man.
right on my patio, and I just kept going. And this one dude that was a Cottonmouth Kings tour manager guy, he owned a little like smoke shop, and he started buying my pipes off me. They were shit, bro. They were like the bowls all crooked, and I pushed them and shit because they didn't have guides back then. You just
Yeah.
popped your hole and fucking tried to sink that bitch straight. But he bought all my shit, which made me fucking
Kept you
determined
going,
to
man.
get better, you know.
Yeah.
So then he linked me up with this other dude who was a graffiti writer, and that dude taught me how to make bubblers. He was a glass blower also. He taught me how to make bubblers, and then that dude introduced me to this other dude that taught me how to like do some other techniques, and I just kept it going. And then when Operation Pipe Dreams happened, is when I like was like, fuck this. I have kids. I had 3 kids, and I was like, I don't want to go to jail. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
So I kind of just packed I sold all my equipment to the Boro Syndicate dudes. Sold my lathe and everything I had. All my torches, extra torches, lines, tools, glass, everything.
Yeah.
I kept a Carlisle, a little set of tools, and some lines and some regulators in case I ever wanted to pick it up again. And that's what I have upstairs. That Carlisle is upstairs. That's what
Wow.
I just kept it just in case I needed to get back into it.
And he's back.
I'm back.
Okay, so next question. What were some of the big influences when you started? And that doesn't have to be just like glass, it could be
When I got into
glass blowing.
glass blowing period.
Yeah.
Well, like I wanted to learn neon,
Mm.
so I thought by like getting into pipe making, I could like transfer that into neon. Finding out that's not a thing, but then I was good at making pipes and shit, and I was making good money back then, so I just kept doing that.
Yeah.
But neon was my inspiration. But I just like graffiti and colors, and I like meshing colors and like to look at colors, So like making glass is colorful for me, I guess.
Yeah.
It
great.
calms me down. It keeps me fucking. It's like a chi for me, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah. I think you already said it, but where did you first sell your glass?
Salt Lake City, Utah.
Okay.
It was a place called Grassroots. That's the dude. He was their tour manager, and he owned the shop. His name was Ian Gunderson.
Yeah.
Shout out Ian G. But yeah, he owned Grassroots Clothing and more, and he bought my pipes off me and got me going.
It's great. Are there certain objects that you made at the start that you still make now?
Marbles.
Yeah.
Marbles are. I'm not very good at making them, but for some reason, it's like the same thing I was saying with the colors. Making a marble, getting something perfectly round, kind of is relaxing and calming, watching it flow and watching it just get around.
So, how far along was the Nemo piece then in the
I
create?
got the eyes on it, the mouth, and the top fin, and I was putting one of the side fins on, and it broke on me.
I mean, like in your career,
Oh, how far did I?
how far along? Like you said, you were doing like the wrap and rake spoons and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
That
When did
was
you
like
start switching and sculpting? And
when I
stuff?
started doing sculpting. Actually, that was the first sculpted piece I did because my teachers told me that you couldn't have acute angles, you couldn't have those things. So it was kind of like me stepping outside of the box, doing something that I wasn't supposed to be doing. And when it broke on me, I was like, that's why you can't do that shit.
Yeah.
And then I went to just doing like I started doing like wrap and rake bubblers that would have like a starfish that I drew on the piece on the side of it. So it wasn't really sculpted. It's like drawn on there, but it was melted in, with like little warts on it. Sometimes I would do like a leg coming off or something. I would do like octopus on there with like tentacles. Nothing that was crazy. Just like production type ocean shit back then.
Okay.
That was my gig.
It's looking like we might slam the battery, so it might get cut at some point, and we'll recontinue. I'm just gonna let everybody know it's happened once before, but we'll keep slamming. What did the scene look like when you first started blowing glass?
Like I was saying before, it's very secretive. Like there was cliques, and if you went to someone's house, they would like shut. If you went to someone else's studio, they would like put all their shit away. They would fucking like hide their things that they were working on because they didn't want you to see how they were doing it. They were welcome. They would welcome you over, like have you over to smoke bowls and shit. But when it came to like scene tech, everything was very secretive.
Yeah, it's
James
interesting.
Bond type shit.
What do you feel like inspires your work the most right now?
Um, I like graffiti art. I like graffiti, like cartoon characters and like grotesque, like over exaggerated, like puke and boogers and teeth and like rotten teeth and shit. So like I try to put that into my artwork.
Yeah, interesting. What is your favorite thing to do outside of glass?
Um, Favorite thing outside of glass, I like making music. It's not new for me, but it's something I've always been interested in. So like every time I start dabbling into it again, there's been like 3 times in my life that I've fucked with music. But yeah, music, talking to my kids, watching them raise their kids is pretty awesome. Frenchies, my fucking fiance, having adventures with her is pretty fucking awesome. We go all over the place and check shit out.
Yeah, it's great. What's your favorite thing to make right now?
Yeah, I like sculpting these little cartoon faces, like different expressions on them. Enjoying doing those right now.
Is there a character in particular, or is it kind of changed?
They're kind of just like I like to think that they came from the little aliens off of Space Jam, the old school Space Jam, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
The little guys with the buck teeth sticking out. Like I kind of think that they inspired from those guys.
That's cool. What do you hope the scene looks like in 10 years?
What do I hope the scene looks like? Man, I hope we're all doing some futuristic shit.
Yeah. Love it. It's a great answer. What do you feel more glassblowers should be paying attention to? Oh. Hey, you're getting a couple specials. That's the second time that's happened in a video. These are like the elite rare things, man. Cool. Just to reiterate, what do you feel more glassblowers should be paying attention to?
More of their own style. Like it's okay to mimic somebody else, something that you inspire off of somebody else, but like try to put your own twist to it. Try to get your own flavor on it. Like everybody can do barbecue, but everybody's got their own sauce. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Put your own sauce on your barbecue.
Love it. All right, last question. What do you hope to accomplish in glass?
I hope to be a well-known artist, not a pipe maker. Like I know that like that's what I make is pipes and rigs and stuff like that. I'd like to do art in all aspects of glass. I want to do mixed media. I want to bring old antiques involved with art, with light, or with glass, with lighting that are art pieces that you hang on the wall, you know, that people can just look at and be like, "Wow, that's crazy." I don't know what he was thinking when he made that. But it's like something that's lit up and glass and handmade and gold and all different aspects of art to it. I want to do neon too, like neon furniture, neon installations for walls. So that's probably my next venture is neon.
Great.
I'm gonna look into some schools and shit.
Oh yeah. All right, man. Thank you very much.
But yeah, dude.